Good morning, Year 3, and I hope you had a wonderful half-term holiday. Welcome back to your home learning. It's Monday the 22nd of February. I'm Mr. Parsons, and let's get started on a brand new writing journey. So this time we are saying goodbye to our dragons and starting our whole new topic on early man. And hopefully you've already started to do some learning about that if you've completed today's reading task. So for writing, our purpose is to inform. We need to give information to the reader. The audience are visitors to Butser Ancient Farm. More about that in a moment. And so the form of our writing is going to be a non-chronological report. Very simply, that just means that you simply write down the facts as we know them. You're not doing it in time order, so you're not telling the story, you're simply presenting the facts. Now, we've written non-chronological reports before. You did one for the Bearded Dragon just for half term. You've done them for meerkats, but now it's time to write a non-chronological report, not about an animal this time, but about a period of history. So we are learning to identify important skills of the Stone Age people. This is because we need to include the correct information for a report about Stone Age people, and our success criteria are to identify the main actions, that's verbs, from the period, and to identify some important artifacts or nouns from the time. I've just spotted a typo which I'm going to correct. There it is. So, who is our audience? Well, we are going to be writing for people who visit this place. It's called Butser Ancient Farm, and I'm going to show you an introductory video now so you know what kind of a place it is and what kind of information we'll need to give to those people in the report that we write. So as you can see, Butser Ancient Farm is first and foremost a farm, so it has animals on it, but it's been set up and designed to be a place that anyone can pay to attend. So it's a lovely day out for visitors, and they have got a lot of interesting places set up there to help you see how people lived in ancient times in this country. And it spans a whole range of different time periods. So in the picture there, you can see some roundhouses, and they're mainly from the Iron Age. And in the background, you can see a larger building with a more solid roof. So that's a Roman inspired building. But they also go back and talk about the Stone Age. And we're going to be thinking about the Stone Age, Bronze Age and Iron Age over the course of this half term. But in our writing, we're going to particularly focus on the Stone Age. So we're going to be making an information page or an information leaflet so that visitors who go to the Butser Ancient Farm can do some reading about the Stone Age. Now, a nice way to help you understand a bit about the Stone Age is through this storybook called Stone Age Boy. Now, this is obviously a made-up story, but what's nice about this story is it's called a fusion book. So although it is a fiction story made up, it does actually have woven through it a lot of information and real factual information about the Stone Age too. So we're going to watch a video now of somebody reading the first half of this story for us.
Hi everyone, I'm Mema, and normally I go around and teach children about the Stone Age. One of the books that a lot of children read when they're learning about the Stone Age is this one. It's called Stone Age Boy by Satoshi Kitamura, and it's a very good book. An amazing thing once happened to me. I was wandering in the woods when I tripped and found myself falling down. When I woke up, I was in a cold, dark place. I could see daylight in the distance, and I stumbled towards it. Outside, everything was different. I realised I was lost, completely lost. So I walked and walked and walked. Then, to my relief, I saw someone, a girl. She was about my age, but she didn't look like any of the girls I knew. And I don't think I looked like any of the boys she knew. She took me home to meet her family, and what a family it was! They looked very strange, but they were kind to me and gave me some stew. I couldn't understand anything they were saying, though I worked out my new friend's name was Om. Then I must have fallen asleep. Next morning, Om showed me round the camp. Everyone seemed busy and had a job to do. Over the next few days, I saw so much I'd never seen before. Om's people had no knives and forks, no plastic, no metal even. Everything they had was made of wood, stone, animal skins or bones. I saw them making fire by striking flint stones together or turning a wooden drill. Fire is used for cooking, to keep warm, and sometimes to scare animals. Making tools by flint knapping. Flints were chipped, trimmed and sharpened, and then made into knives, spearheads and scrapers for cleaning animal skins. I had a go, but it was very difficult. I saw them using tools. Tools are used to make wood, antlers and bones into bowls, spears and ornaments. I saw them cutting a slice out of a bone, sharpening it on a grindstone, piercing a hole. It's a sewing needle. Using a throwing stick, you can throw a spear faster and further. I saw them preparing and using animal skins, skinning a deer, scraping the hide clean, drying it, cutting it, piercing holes, sewing it together. Using skins to repair a tent, cutting meat, drying meat, smoking meat, drying fish, boiling soup by putting a red-hot stone into a leather bag, grilling meat. So many things going on, aren't there? One afternoon we went to the river.
That's just the first part of the adventure of Stone Age Boy. And I will share with you the rest of the story later on in this project. So as you can see, although it's a fictitious story about a boy who travels back in time and meets a girl called Om, it also has pages which give you loads of information about what life might have been like all that time ago. And we're talking over 6,000 years ago. And it's these pages that we're going to really focus on this week. So you've got a copy of these pages which you can view on screen, or you can print off and have a look at. And these pages are absolutely stuffed full of information. You've got a section at the top there about making fire. You've got a section about making tools. You've got a section about using tools. You've got a whole section on preparing and using animal skins and preparing and cooking food. So we're going to break it down one stage at a time. This week, we're going to particularly focus on the making fire and making tools section. But for today, just as it's the first time of looking at it, I want you to experience everything across the pages and really explore those pictures and those words. So today's task is pretty straightforward. It's all about looking for the verbs, that's the actions, and the nouns, that's the items, on each of those pages. So all I want you to do is have a good look across both pages and make the longest list you can of verbs and nouns from those pages. For example, I've already started here. Some actions you could include are striking and turning, because they're mentioned on the pages. And some items are flint, because it's the flint that they were striking. And drill is another noun. They were turning the drill. Here's another example. If we look at this person here and the description, we've got scraping the hide clean. So I could type in here or write in here the verb. Can you work out what the verb would be? That's right, it would be scraping. So scraping is the verb, and what would the noun be? That's right, hide. Now you might not have come across hide as a noun before. Normally we would think of hide as being a verb, the verb to hide, go and hide, whereby you kind of might play a game of hide and seek. Whereas here, using the picture to help you, what do you think the word hide might mean? She's scraping the hide clean. Now, what is this she is scraping? Well, if I go back to the main page, it's under this heading, preparing and using animal skins. So there we go. That's the answer. A hide is another name for an animal skin. So there's something we've learned already. So all you need to do is fill in as many verbs or nouns as you can find. If you'd like that simplified, then the simplified sheet has the nouns and verbs written at the bottom. You cut them out and glue them into the correct places. If you'd like this as an extension, then when you've written as many of the verbs and nouns from the text as you can find, I'd like you to then explore just the pictures. So then you start to pull out verbs and nouns that are in the pictures, but maybe not mentioned in the text themselves. So from this example here, the person is kneeling. So you could have kneeling as a verb. Or a noun could be a rock, because it looks like she's using some kind of rock to scrape. Or you could talk about pegs. Do you see the pegs in the ground holding down the hide? So you could put pegs as a noun. It's not mentioned in the text, but it is in the picture. So as it's your first day of getting into our early man topic, I think as a nice and gentle way to get you back into it is just to be as observant as possible and make some notes of verbs and nouns. We will be using all those ideas as we build up our work over the next few days. So have fun with it, and I can't wait to see what you send in to us later today.